What if I told you that your problem isn't English? It's your routine. You're not lazy, you're not untalented, you're just stuck in a learning system that doesn't work for real life. In this episode, I'm going to show you something different. Not a perfect plan that looks good on paper, but a real, practical, life-tested routine that busy people, shy people, tired people, and even frustrated learners can actually stick to. This is the English routine that works, not because it's intense, but because it's realistic. Not because it's hard, but because it's smart. If you've ever felt like you're trying, but not growing, this episode is for you. Get ready to take your English out of your head and into your life. Let's build the habits that lead to fluency, one powerful step at a time. Tip 1. Start small, but start strong. When it comes to building an English routine that actually works, the first step is the simplest, but also the most powerful. Start small, but start strong. This means you don't need to plan for an hour of study. You don't need to overwhelm yourself with 5 textbooks and 20 new words. All you need is one small habit that you do every single day, especially in the morning. Why the morning? Because mornings set the tone for the rest of your day. When you begin your day with English, even just for 10 minutes, your brain enters language mode. That simple act tells your brain, hey, we're learning English today. And from that moment on, you'll start to notice more English around you. You'll be more likely to listen, repeat, or think in English without even trying. So how do you do it? Easy. Here are a few strong ways to start your morning with English. Listen to a short English podcast or motivational video while brushing your teeth. Read a short English quote and say it out loud. Review 5 flashcards using an app like Anki or Quizlet. Repeat your goals or affirmations in English, like, I am learning English every day. I am improving. The key here is not how much you do, but how consistently you do it. A 10-minute English habit every morning is more powerful than a 1-hour study session once a week. Why? Because habits build momentum. Momentum builds confidence, and confidence changes everything. You also want to make this habit easy to access. Keep a sticky note on your mirror with an English phrase. Save a 3-minute podcast episode and press play as soon as you wake up. Or leave your English app open on your phone so it's the first thing you see. Remove the resistance. Make it automatic. And here's a bonus tip. Don't judge yourself. If you only listened for 5 minutes today, it's okay. If you didn't understand every word, that's normal. What matters is that you showed up. That's what strong routines are made of. Showing up again and again, no matter how small the step. In this first stage, you're not trying to speak fluently. You're not trying to write essays or memorize rules. You're just trying to wake up your English brain. That's it. Think of it like warming up before a workout. You wouldn't run a marathon without stretching. And you shouldn't jump into grammar drills without mentally preparing your brain to focus. Start your day in English, and let that energy carry you through. Tip 2. Passive English. Learn without studying. One of the biggest secrets to building a strong English routine is understanding this. You don't always need to sit down and study. In fact, some of the best learning happens when you're not trying too hard. Welcome to the world of passive learning, one of the easiest, most effective tools for busy people. So what is passive learning? It's when you expose yourself to English without actively focusing on it. You listen, read, or watch content in English while doing other things, like cooking, walking, exercising, commuting, or cleaning. And even though you're not sitting at a desk, your brain is still absorbing the rhythm, vocabulary, and sounds of the language. This kind of exposure is powerful. Think about how children learn languages. They don't study grammar charts. They just hear the language all the time, and slowly their brain starts to connect sounds with meaning. That same process can happen for you, no matter how old you are, if you surround yourself with enough English. So how can you add passive learning to your day? Here are some simple ideas. Listen to English podcasts or audiobooks while doing chores or driving. Watch YouTube videos or vlogs in English while eating or relaxing. Change your phone language to English, so every tap is a mini lesson. Read English memes or short social media posts when scrolling. Play English music while walking, jogging, or getting ready. You don't need to understand everything. In fact, it's better if you don't stop and translate every word. Let the sounds flow. Let your ears get comfortable. Over time, the language will start to feel familiar. And once English feels familiar, speaking it becomes 10x easier. But there's one important rule. Be consistent. Passive learning works best when you do it daily. One podcast episode a week won't change much. But listening for 10-30 minutes every day? That's brain training. That's how fluency begins. Also, choose content that feels natural and enjoyable. If you're bored, your brain won't engage. So pick topics you love: travel, food, relationships, business, fashion, whatever keeps you interested. The more emotionally connected you are, the more you'll remember. One final tip. Don't feel guilty if passive learning is all you can do some days. Life gets busy. You might be tired or stressed. But even on those days, if you can still listen to something in English, even for 5 minutes, you're winning. You're keeping the habit alive. Passive learning is like watering a plant. A little every day will make it grow. You might not see results instantly, but give it a few weeks, and suddenly, English won't sound like noise. It will start to feel like home. Tip 3. 15 minutes of focus. Build your core skill daily. Now that you've started your day in English and added passive learning throughout, it's time for the heart of your routine. 15 minutes of focused, active learning. This is the time you sit down, eliminate distractions, and train your English brain like an athlete. But don't worry, this doesn't have to be boring or difficult. In fact, it should feel exciting. Why? Because this is where real growth happens. This is the moment where you tell your brain, let's improve today. The secret is to choose one small focus area each day, not 5, not 3, just one. That could be speaking, listening, grammar, reading, or writing. You're not trying to do everything. You're trying to do one thing well. Let's say your focus today is speaking. Here are some things you could do. Practice talking about your day in English, out loud, like you're speaking to a friend. Choose a topic, like my favorite food, and record yourself explaining it for 1 minute. Watch a video and repeat the sentences with the same intonation. Or maybe today is your grammar day. Watch a 5-minute grammar lesson about the present perfect. Write 3 example sentences using it. Say those sentences out loud and try to use them in your own situation. Maybe today is your writing day. Write a short diary entry about your day in English. Or comment on a YouTube video in English. Or rewrite a short story in your own words. Just one area, one action, one win. Why does this work? Because focus builds confidence. When you concentrate deeply on one thing, you understand it better, you remember it longer, and you improve faster. Multitasking in language learning creates confusion, but single tasking creates clarity. Now let's talk about how to do it well. First, set a timer for 15 minutes. During that time, no phone notifications, no background TV, no distractions, just you and your English. Second, have a plan before you begin. Don't waste your 15 minutes deciding what to study. Prepare in advance. Maybe write down 5 speaking topics for the week or pick the grammar points you want to review. That way, when the time starts, you go straight into action. Third, don't chase perfection. If you're speaking and you make a mistake, it's okay. If you're writing and the grammar isn't perfect, that's fine. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to practice with energy. Mistakes are proof that you're trying, and trying builds progress. Over time, these 15-minute sessions become your secret weapon. They're small, but they're sharp. They cut through your fears and build your fluency, one brick at a time. Remember, if you want to build a house, you lay one brick every day. That's what this 15-minute habit is. One powerful brick. One strong step toward your English fluency. Tip 4. Nighttime English. Let your brain sleep in English. We've talked about how to start your day, how to surround yourself with English, and how to train one key skill daily. But there's one part of your routine that most people forget, and it might be the most powerful of all. What you do before you sleep. Why? Because your brain keeps working while you sleep. It organizes memories, processes what you learned, and stores important information. So if you give your brain some English right before bed, you're giving it a special message. This is important. Remember this. This is not the time to study hard. No grammar books, no intense lessons. You want to relax your brain, not stress it. This part of the routine is calm, peaceful, and soft. It's not about effort. It's about exposure. Here are some excellent ways to end your day in English. Watch a relaxing English vlog or slow conversation, something calm and simple. Avoid fast interviews or action movies. Read a short paragraph, blog post, or story in English. Pick something positive or motivational. Let it inspire your dreams. Listen to a bedtime podcast or sleep story in English. Even if you fall asleep while listening, your brain still hears it. Write a short journal entry in English. Just 3-5 sentences about your day. What did I do? What did I learn? How did I feel? This gentle nighttime exposure does a few amazing things. First, it helps English become a natural part of your daily rhythm. Second, it creates emotional connections, and emotions help you remember. Third, it helps you think in English without pressure. In fact, here's a beautiful trick. After you finish your nighttime input, close your eyes and ask yourself, what's one sentence I can say in English right now? Say it in your mind. Say it out loud if you want. That one sentence is like planting a seed in your brain while it's most relaxed and ready to grow. You don't have to do this for long. Even 5 minutes of calm English at night is powerful, but the key is consistency. If you do it every night, even when you're tired, your brain will start to recognize English as part of your identity. It becomes you. Here's the truth. Language learning isn't just about study time. It's about rhythm, routine, feeling. The more you connect English with moments of calm, the more you'll trust yourself to use it without fear. So tonight, instead of scrolling through social media in your native language, give your brain a gift, a little English, a little peace, and let your mind do the rest while you sleep. Tip 5. Choose a weekly focus. One goal, one skill, 1 week. Now let's add a layer of strategy to your routine. You're already practicing English every day in small, powerful ways. But to stay focused, avoid confusion, and feel real progress, you need to set a weekly focus. What does that mean? It means every week you choose one specific area to improve. Not everything, just one. For example, 1 week your focus might be listening. The next week it might be pronunciation. The next, writing emails in English. Why does this help? Because the biggest mistake English learners make is trying to do too much at once. They jump from grammar to speaking to vocabulary in 1 day. The result? They feel overwhelmed and frustrated. Progress becomes invisible. But if you say, this week I'm focusing only on improving my listening, everything becomes easier. You know what content to watch. You know what to measure. You feel your growth more clearly, and that gives you motivation to continue. Here's how to do it. At the start of your week, let's say Sunday, ask yourself, what do I want to get better at this week? What is one skill that I want to give extra attention to? How will I practice it every day for 5 to 7 days? Once you decide, create a simple plan. Example 1. Listening focus. Day 1, watch a 5-minute video and write down what you hear. Day 2, listen to the same video and repeat after the speaker. Day 3, watch a new video on the same topic. Day 4, Record yourself repeating the key phrases. Day 5. Try to explain the topic in your own words. Day 6. Test yourself. Can you understand without subtitles? Day 7. Reflect. Did your listening feel easier? Example 2. Vocabulary focus. Choose 10 to 15 new words you want to learn this week. Add them to flashcards, physical or digital. Use the words in speaking or writing daily. Review them each morning and before bed. By the end of the week, write a short story using all of them. The beauty of a weekly focus is that it feels achievable. You don't have to learn everything. You just have to grow in one area. And every week, that area changes. Slowly, you become a well-rounded speaker, listener, reader, and writer without the stress. This also gives your routine variety. One week, you're exploring slang. The next, you're mastering job interview answers. The next, you're fixing your pronunciation of tricky sounds like teeth or R. It keeps things fresh and fun. And don't forget to reflect at the end of each week. Ask, what did I do well? What was still hard? What surprised me? What can I do differently next week? That's how you take control of your own learning. That's how you become your own teacher. Not with pressure, but with focus, 1 week at a time. Tip 6. Repeat and imitate. The secret to speaking like a native. If you want to speak English fluently, naturally, and confidently, there is one method you cannot skip: repetition and imitation. These two simple habits are the foundation of clear pronunciation, natural rhythm, and strong speaking skills. Let's break it down. First, repetition. This means listening to a word, phrase, or sentence and saying it again and again until it feels natural. You don't need to understand every grammar rule. You don't need to translate it. You just need to repeat it with your mouth until your brain and tongue work together. Second, imitation. This means copying how native speakers talk, their tone, their speed, their pauses, their energy. It's like acting. When you imitate someone well, you begin to sound like them. You train your ear, your voice, and your confidence. This is not a trick. This is how babies learn to speak. They listen, they copy, they repeat. And after hundreds of small repetitions, they speak fluently. Without textbooks, without grammar rules, you can do the same. So how do you practice this in your routine? Here's a simple daily imitation session. 1. Find a short video or audio, 30-60 seconds. Choose someone who speaks clearly, a TED Talk, a YouTube vlog, a movie scene. 2. Listen to the whole clip once. Don't read subtitles yet, just listen and feel the rhythm. 3. Play one sentence, pause, repeat it out loud. Try to match the exact tone, speed, and emotion. If they say it fast, say it fast. If they sound excited, copy that energy. 4. Repeat each sentence 3 to 5 times. Don't rush. Focus on how it feels in your mouth. 5. Now play the whole clip and repeat it with the speaker. This is called shadowing. Try to keep up. Even if you miss words, stay with the rhythm. If you do this for just 10 minutes a day, Your pronunciation and fluency will skyrocket. Not after one day, but after 1 month, you'll notice a big change. Here's a pro tip. Record yourself. After you repeat the sentence 5 times, record your version. Then play the original and your recording. Compare them. What's different? Where are you too slow, too flat, or unclear? That feedback is gold. Imitation also helps with intonation, the rise and fall of your voice. English is a musical language. Natives don't speak word by word. They group words together and use pitch to express emotion. Imitation helps you hear that and copy it, something textbooks can never teach. Another benefit? Repetition builds muscle memory. Just like learning a dance move or a basketball shot, your mouth needs to practice the same sounds again and again. Over time, it becomes automatic. So if you want to sound confident, if you want to speak without thinking too much, if you want to feel like a native speaker, then imitate, repeat, and speak like you're already fluent. Because the more you copy English, the more it becomes yours. Tip 7. Create a personal vocabulary system. Never forget words again. Every English learner wants to grow their vocabulary, but most people go about it the wrong way. They memorize long lists. They write 50 new words in a notebook, and 2 days later, they forget all of them. The truth is, vocabulary is not about how many words you collect. It's about how many words you remember and use. And to do that, you need a system, a personal, simple, effective vocabulary system that fits your brain and your routine. Let's break it down. Step 1. Choose fewer words, but go deeper. Instead of writing 20 new words a day, choose 3 to 5. That's it. But really learn them. Know what they mean, how they sound, and how to use them in your life. It's better to master 5 words than forget 50. Step 2. Organize your words by theme. Your brain remembers words better when they are connected, so group them. For example, food words, ingredients, verbs, dishes; travel vocabulary, airport, hotel, transport; emotions, feelings, reactions, expressions; job interviews, questions, actions, character traits. When words belong to a situation, you're more likely to remember and use them when that situation appears. Step 3. Use flashcards with context. Apps like Anki, Quizlet, or even paper flashcards work great. But don't just write the word and its translation. Instead, add a sentence that uses the word in context, an image that helps you visualize it, a note in your native language to connect it to your memory. Example: word, frustrated; image, a person pulling their hair. Sentence: I felt frustrated when my computer crashed. Step 4. Use the words in real situations. This is where the magic happens. Write short stories using the new words. Say sentences out loud. Try to use them in real conversations. Even comment on videos or forums using those words. The more you use them, the more permanent they become. Step 5. Review regularly, not just once. Vocabulary grows through spaced repetition. seeing the same word again and again, but not too often. Your system should remind you to review words after 1 day, 3 days, 7 days, 14 days, and so on. Most flashcard apps do this automatically. Step 6. Personalize everything. You're not learning English for a test, you're learning it for your life. So focus on words you actually need. If you love cooking, learn recipe vocabulary. If you want a job abroad, focus on business English. Make it yours. Here's the final tip. Speak your words. Don't just read and write them. Say them out loud. Feel them in your mouth. Create a sentence and speak it every morning. Turn passive vocabulary into active power. Remember, vocabulary is not just memory, it's connection. When you connect new words to real life, real emotions, and real usage, they become part of you. Tip 8. Make English fun. Build a routine you actually enjoy. Let's be honest. If your English routine feels like torture, you're not going to stick with it. Motivation disappears. You avoid studying. You feel guilty. And slowly, you stop. But here's the good news. Language learning doesn't have to be boring. In fact, the best routine is the one you enjoy, the one that feels like fun, not work. Because the more you enjoy English, the more your brain wants to learn it. And the more your brain wants it, the faster you grow. So, how do you make English fun? Start by choosing materials you love. If you like romantic movies, watch them in English. If you love football, follow English-speaking players on Instagram. If you enjoy cooking, watch English recipes on YouTube. Whatever you enjoy in your native language, do it in English. Here's the key. Make English a part of your lifestyle, not just your study life. You don't have to read textbooks every day. You can learn through comedy shows, animated cartoons, English music, and singing along. Funny YouTube shorts, movie scenes with your favorite actors. When you laugh or smile while learning, your brain creates stronger emotional connections. That means you'll remember more, stress less, and feel more relaxed when speaking. Another way to make it fun? Gamify your learning. Use apps that give you points, streaks, and levels. Challenge a friend to learn 5 words a day. Set a speaking challenge for yourself. 1-minute voice note in English every morning. You can even give yourself rewards. If I complete 7 days of learning, I'll treat myself to something small I love. You can also join a community. Learning English with others can give you energy. Look for Telegram or WhatsApp groups for English learners. Facebook groups focused on speaking practice. Language exchange apps like Tandem or HelloTalk. Discord servers or online English clubs. When you're part of a group, it feels like a team effort. You see others making mistakes, learning, growing, and it motivates you to do the same. Also, don't be afraid to get silly. Talk to yourself in English when you're cooking. Act like a YouTube teacher and explain your breakfast in English. Sing along to a pop song even if you mess up the lyrics. Play games like 20 questions in English or guess the word. This is your journey. There are no rules saying it has to be serious and quiet. In fact, the more playful and free you are with English, the more it becomes part of your identity. So here's your mission. Look at your current routine. What parts feel heavy? Replace them with fun. What parts do you enjoy? Do more of that. Because when learning becomes joy, you don't need discipline. You just keep going naturally. Part 9. Track your progress. Motivation you can see. One of the biggest reasons English learners give up is this. They don't feel progress. They're studying, they're listening, they're practicing, but still, they think, why am I not fluent yet? The truth is, you are improving, but your progress is invisible unless you track it. That's why in every successful English routine, you need one simple habit: tracking. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need apps, graphs, or statistics. You just need a way to see your growth over time, so your brain stays motivated. Here are a few easy, powerful ways to track your English journey. 1. Keep a language journal. Every day or once a week, write 3 to 5 sentences about what you learned, what was difficult, what you enjoyed, new words or phrases you discovered. You can write it in English or your native language. The goal is to reflect, to capture your journey like a diary. Then, after a month, you can read back and realize how far you've come. 2. Record yourself. Speaking once a week, take your phone and record a 1-minute voice note. Talk about your day. Describe your favorite food. Explain something you just learned. Don't worry about mistakes. In fact, you want to keep those early bad recordings. After 3 weeks, listen again. You'll be shocked by the improvement. Your voice becomes stronger, your sentences longer, your confidence higher. 3. Set micro goals. Instead of saying, I want to be fluent, try, this week I will learn 10 new words. Today, I will speak for 2 minutes without stopping. By Sunday, I'll understand 1 full video without subtitles. Each time you achieve one, cross it off. That feeling of completion keeps you going. 4. Use a visual tracker. Make a simple chart on paper. Write the days of the week across the top and the habits you want to do. Listen, speak, read, write on the side. Each time you complete one, put an or in the box. After 1 week, you'll see a map of your effort, and it feels amazing to look at. 5. Celebrate milestones. Did you complete 7 days in a row? Finished a full podcast episode without pausing? Had your first English conversation without fear? Celebrate it. Treat yourself. Share it with a friend. Write about it. Because success isn't just fluency, it's the hundreds of small wins along the way. Here's the truth. Learning a language is slow. Sometimes you feel stuck. But when you track your progress, you stop focusing on what you don't know and start celebrating how far you've come. Progress is fuel. Don't just feel it, see it. Part 10. Be consistent, not perfect. The golden rule of fluency. So here we are. the final piece of the puzzle. We've talked about morning habits, active practice, fun learning, tracking progress, and more. But if there's one thing that holds everything together, it's this golden rule. Be consistent, not perfect. Perfection is a dream that kills motivation. You try to speak without any mistakes. You try to study for 2 hours every day. You try to understand every word in every video. And the moment you can't, you feel like you've failed. But that's not how fluency works. Fluency doesn't come from being perfect once. It comes from showing up again and again, even when it's messy, even when it's just 5 minutes, even when you don't feel like it. Let me ask you this. What's better? A. Studying for 3 hours today, then stopping for a week. B. Studying for 20 minutes every day for 7 days. You already know the answer. B. Because language learning is not about intensity, it's about consistency. Your brain doesn't grow in one day. It grows in layers, little by little, with repetition. And that's why your job is not to be perfect. Your job is to keep showing up. Here's how to build consistency that lasts. 1. Lower the pressure. Instead of saying, I must speak for 30 minutes, say, I will speak for 5. Once you start, you'll often go longer, but the pressure is gone, and starting becomes easier. 2. Create rituals, not rules. Instead of rules like, I have to study at 8 p.m., build rituals like, I listen to English while I make breakfast. I review words before bed. Rituals become automatic. You don't fight them. You flow with them. 3. Don't break the chain. Use a calendar and mark every day you do something in English, even if it's small. The goal? Don't break the chain. 1 day becomes 2, 2 becomes 5, 5 becomes a streak. You'll start to feel proud. That builds identity. You become the kind of person who learns English every day. 4. Forgive yourself. You will miss a day or 2. Life happens. Don't start from 0. Just pick up where you left off. 1 missed day doesn't erase your progress. What breaks your routine is not failure. It's quitting. 5. Celebrate the boring days. The days when you listen to a podcast while tired. The days when you review 3 words and that's it. These are the days that build your fluency. Anyone can study when they're excited. Real learners keep going when it's hard. So let go of the idea of perfection. You don't need to speak like a native. You don't need to know every word. You just need to be someone who keeps going. Because fluency is not a goal, it's a result. The result of small, consistent, brave actions repeated every day. You don't chase it. You build it, 1 word at a time, 1 sentence at a time, 1 honest day at a time. So now you have it, the full routine. 10 steps that can completely transform your English, your confidence, and your daily progress. But remember this, routines don't work unless you do. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to follow every single step. But if you take even one of these habits and make it yours and do it consistently, you will see results. Start small. Keep going. Trust the process. Because English isn't just something you study, it's something you live. And every word you speak, every minute you listen, every mistake you make, it all adds up. If this episode helped you, share it with someone who's also on this journey. And don't forget to leave a comment or review. Tell me, which part of this routine will you start today? Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing growth. Your fluency is not far away. It's just one habit closer.